Here we are, we're live on the set. Rick, over to you.
Hi, so this is the Liberator Bus that I'm building in honor of Dad for his bravery or whatever. He didn't like to say it was bravery, but it was just, it's honor of Dad because we love him so much. So this has sort of been something that I've been working on for about 4 years. I took the school bus, it's 40 foot, 2006. Took all the ceiling metal off the inside, took the windows out, put that in, and then put RV windows in, sort of how I wanted to make it. Outdoor shower, power of course, water, on-demand water heater. I'll go this way. They've got 2 propane tanks. Underneath here you've got the gray water, which is the sinks and the shower. And then up here you can't see is the poop bucket. It's a 65-gallon black tank. And on my emergency egress window, since this is a B-24 bomber from World War II, still works. Kind of. So up here we have the outside part of the mini split. This is very quiet, air conditioner and heater. And then up here, the important part, I need to get a new sticker here, but Dad's POW, 8th Air Force, and then the 20 mission bombs, with the last one empty, because that's when he was shot down. That's what that signifies. And happy 4th of July, everybody. So my stickers that I bought didn't work out, so I'm going to pull those off and I'm going to paint those by hand. So the front and back will have Liberator on there. And one of the challenges that's with a Skoolie, what they call these, a school bus conversion to an RV, is how you do the door. Some people hook them together so it opens like a big swing door. Some people put regular house doors on there. I didn't care for that, so I got an industrial size or type. You can see up top how it puts those up in there, right? So it's very secure, and I sort of rigged it to work like I do everything. So now we'll go inside. Be very careful, please, because it's still a construction zone. The cabin area, the cockpit area is going to be the last to be done, but the one important thing is right underneath the inside part of the mini split, which, look at it, it's very comfortable in here and you don't even hardly hear it, is Dad's propeller from 1952 that's in my office. It's going to be mounted right here, right over top of me. So come on in. So this is the front part. This is going to be a 6-foot couch that will fold out into a bed. And this side will be my workstation. I'm going to have 2 computer monitors here, then a TV up here, so when you're laying on the couch you can watch TV. I've got, this is the sink side, pull out trash cans, tip out drawer here. I've got a sort of what I consider like a military style, old fashioned little 16 by whatever deep sink. And then on this side we've got a 5-burner propane stove with the nice wok burner in the middle, because everything I cook is on a wok. We'll have a regular type of exhaust hood with a light, and then 12-inch cabinets here, through here, and then again on this side. And here, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I was thinking maybe like a little shelf I could put some plants. The refrigerator. Oops, let me get, those are some of the kitchen lights. So basically these lights here that you see dangling, there'll be 2 in each one of these areas, except for this one. Right, so there'll be 2 here, 2 down, 2 down. Sort of like on an airplane, right? There'll be 2 lines this way. And then there's 1 line going down here, which I don't know if there are other. Just be a row of 1 here. The ones in the cabin are dimmable. And then here we go, we come into the bathroom area. So the toilet will sit here facing me. And we have a full, we have a cabinet here with a mirror. And then a very small sink. Just be able to wash your hands and brush your teeth. And then you can see the shower. The shower is about almost 3 foot wide by 4 feet long. And that's against that wall right there is where you're going to see those tiles that we just got today. So right here, there'll be 17 inches by 8 inches, that Liberator. I think I'm going to go a little bit higher with it. I'm going to have to try to pass it, figure it out. And this will be very small, 1-inch circle gray mottled tile all the way around. And I'm thinking, and then down the bottom and up to here is going to be more of a slate gray for the rest of the bathroom and the lower part of the shower. And then here's going to be a 12-inch pull-out, what do you call that? Where you put all your spices and all your
Pantry.
Pantry, yeah, pull-out pantry. Thank you. So this will be my hall closet, right? And then down below here, this area will be about 10-inch tall by 24-inch wide by 22-inch deep clothing drawers, and then the hanging clothes can go here. And then I guess we can look. Oh, let's just go light show. Sorry. There we go. So back here, we won't talk about the energy stuff yet, but if you look up top, that blue painted area, this is going to be this skylight right over top of the head of the bed. Big king size bed in here. And then back there, that'll be, I don't know if I'm gonna do padding, carpeting, I don't know yet, something nice, or if you want to get up there and read or just sort of relax, you'll be able to do that. And then this is going to come out, and we have to put another air conditioner / heater here. And that's the fresh water on 12 volt pump. And then if you want to look underneath here, there's the water heater inside, and you can see all the water distribution for the hot and the cold water. And then this is all the solar from the panels comes in here, goes through the Victron controller, and then it goes in through this is like the bus bar that hooks everything together, right? And then it goes through the charging, goes into here, and then it charges, and the batteries, there's two 24 volt 400 lithium iron phosphate batteries. And all this I sort of, I paid a guy to give me a really great schematic because I told him what I needed. I needed the mini split, I needed the refrigerator, and I have all these 12 volt devices. And he designed this, and he sent me a beautiful PDF schematic, and then he also sent me an Excel spreadsheet that had every single item I needed to purchase. That's a 0-aught wire, right? Is different than, just a 0 gauge wire, right? It explains all that and what lugs I need to purchase, what tools I need to get, and I was able to build all this from that, and it was great. So that was well worth the money. Dan Solar. Anyway, I'm not sponsored either, by the way. But anyway, so that's what this is. So this week, while Jeff is here, we're going to go down and buy the solar panels. We're going to mount them to the top of this motherfucker. All right? It's going to be beautiful. So we're going to go over here and I'll show you one of the. So this is how the solar panels are mounted. Right? So there's 8 of these on each side of the bus. And that's because the center of the bus is taller, right? So the outside has to be up to that same height. So I used a piece of cardboard and kind of came up with this plan. You can see I was 2 inches off, so I had to improvise and buy an 8-foot length of this 2x1 and mounted the rail on there. These are ready to go. And you can see the inside of these here, right? So this is the backing. I used carriage bolts, right? So I figured that way I can do this, and I'm using this really beautiful marine adhesive sealant, 5200. Oh my gosh, this stuff is awesome. And I have little condoms that you put on here for the caulk, so that way, you know, because it's $30 for 2 of these.
So you got to practice safe caulking.
You have to, absolutely. You don't want that stuff drying out on you, right? So, yeah, so then just had to work this, and there's a couple of these they wouldn't catch, so I had to do some very, I don't know, some weird stuff to put in a couple different screws across to put enough pressure on the back of the head that was up inside here so it wouldn't turn. You know, I'd have to really just sort of try to figure some stuff out, and I sit in that chair and I just look around and I'm like, how am I going to do that? And then I figure it out. But yeah, so we're going to get these solar panels up, and that's going to be awesome. That's going to be a huge step. And then we'll get the tongue and groove and get the ceiling up. We're good. Right on, that's all I got.
Beautiful. I mean, this has been how long of a process? When did you start all this?
I don't know, I bought it in January of 22, I think. And sat, and I did the deconstruction or the demolition or whatever you want to say. And I gave away about $300 worth of metal that was in there, you know, all the seats and all that kind of stuff. I had people came and they took it away, and so that was really nice. But then after I got it demoed, there was a lot of like hanging insulation, like fiberglass, and I didn't really think about it. And I'm in here doing a lot of framing, and I'm cutting in here with the saw, and I wasn't wearing a respirator. It was stupid of me because I'm always wearing goggles. You know, I'm Mr. OSHA. But anyway, I should have. So anyway, I got kind of like bronchitis that kind of turned into walking pneumonia. So I didn't work on it for like 6 months. And then I'd worked for a little bit. Then I moved up here, and it sat here. And then I've only been out of the 4.5 years. Sorry, I'm rambling. Out of the 4.5 years, I might have been working 5 to 10 hours a week for about 1.5 years. So whatever that means.
So the big activity has been the last 1.5 years.
Since I moved